Hello everybody, my name is Brian Adcock and I am the race director and founder of the Castle Triathlon Series. Those of you that are doing the starter try on Saturday the 26th of September at Hever Castle this year, then you're watching the right video. Well done. Those of you that are not doing that race are watching the wrong video, and you should turn this off straight away, because you will fill your brains with things that you don't need to know about, and you'll inevitably go wrong on the course. So start a try, keep watching, everybody else turn off and find your correct video. So welcome to the 12th running of the Hever Castle Triathlon. Slightly strange year for all the obvious reasons of COVID-19. And just to reassure you that we've put the event together with sort of 5 key principles in mind. First of which is what this video is all about, is athlete communication and education. So please watch this, watch the other video that you need to watch in terms of your arrival and departure protocols and procedures, and also read all of the stuff that we send out to you from the office, because it's all important, and it will mean that everybody's facing the right direction on race day, and stop any confusion and therefore any untoward bumping into people, which we don't really want to happen. Second principle is density reduction. So that's kind of been done for you already, in that we've reduced the size of the field this year, and we're also making sure that everybody goes off on an individual start basis. So there's no mass starts out in the water, and there'll be no mass gathering. So you should be able to maintain your social distancing the whole way through your stay at Hever. Third aspect is touch point reduction. The idea is that you turn up in your cars, and the only kit you should touch the whole way around the course is your own. So bear that in mind when you're out and about. Try and just keep your hands to your own kit. Obviously don't share anything with anybody else. Fourth aspect and fourth point is athlete self-reliance. So normally on the cycle ride, we would provide at the very least a water station, but we're not doing that for you this year. You are only doing one circuit of your 14-kilometer course, so you should be able to survive with your own water bottle on your own bike. And if you do need a gel or a bar, then please just carry that on your person or have it waiting for you back in transition. And the final and fifth point of and the final point of our fifth principle is that of increased hygiene. So we will have hand sanitizers all over the event. We will be doing increased cleaning and deeper cleaning of all toilets, all surfaces that may be touched throughout the course of the day. Please expect that to happen, and also please look after your own hygiene. Bring your own PPE. It's not a requirement of the event, but we're more than happy for you to do that, and obviously bring your own hand sanitizer. Okay, so turning to the actual race itself, I'm just going to share my screen with you so we can talk about the swim. So you guys are swimming 200 meters, and you'll have watched the other video by now, hopefully, which will have explained how you get from the car park via the BTF license tent via registration through transition, and then make your way down to the loggia. When you get down to the loggia, you'll be held socially distanced in a holding area, and then 15 at a time you'll be called up onto the loggia, which is this Italianate structure down the end of the lake down here. When you first get onto the loggia, you'll meet me, and I'll brief you about what swimming buoys that you can see and what you're due to swim around. I'll also remind you what signs you're following on both your cycle and your run, and also the numbers of laps that you're doing on both your cycle and your run, which in your case is pretty easy because you're only doing 1 lap of each. So having had that briefing, which will be fairly quick, you'll move over onto the other side of the loggia, again socially distanced, and then you'll be called forward by the starter one by one. And as soon as you cross the start mat, which is on the top of the steps here, your time will in effect start. Now, we know that some of you will take your time, and you'll want to slowly put your goggles on and fiddle with your hat and all that sort of stuff, and that's absolutely fine. There's time for you to do that. And we also know that at the other end of the spectrum, there'll be those of you that want to launch themselves from the top of the steps and get swimming as fast as you can. Just temper that second group, because the steps are slippy and you're not allowed to dive in because this is quite shallow here. So please take care as you enter the water. No start line as such. The start line is when you cross that, that mat at the top of the steps, and you guys are swimming out to the 100-meter buoy. And there will probably be 2 buoys in the water, but we will see where we've got to on the day with this. But the first buoy, if there is one, will be at 50 meters, and you pass that on your right shoulder. And then the second buoy is the 100-meter buoy, and you swim around that, keeping it on your right-hand side. And then you double back on yourself, and then you'll head off into this corner of the lake down here, where the boat ramp is, and also a large orange archway, which you can use as a sighting point. When you get to the ramp, normally there'd be a guy called Simon there that pulls you out of the water, but because of reduction of touch point, we are not going to have him there, but we are going to install a couple of scaffold handrails so that you can pull yourself out of the water. As soon as you get out of the water, turn immediately left, follow the blue carpet along this little track here, and then run up past the ash trees and up the hill, through the deer fence, and then into transition, which is here. And I'll talk about transition in a second. So that's your swim safety. If you've got any problems out in the water, please just roll over onto your back and put your hand up in the air. The other thing that you will notice that is slightly different, there'll be the same numbers of canoeists and paddleboarders that I would normally have as swim safety, but the guys in the power boats will likely be wearing PPE, because if they have to rescue somebody from the water, then they're the ones that get in close proximity with you. And above all else, remember that when the lake was first dug back in 1904 to 1906, it was only dug to 4 meters down, 4 feet down your end of the lake. So you can actually stand up should you get yourself in trouble. Okay, so moving on to transition. And this is where you'll have run up the hill through the deer fence, and then you enter transition in this corner here at swim in. This year, which is a bit different to previous years, we're going to ask you to run down to this corner, and then you'll be able to find your racking point using a letter or numbering system on the end of the lines of racking. Run along to wherever you put your bike, and then that's where you can take your wetsuits and hat and goggles off and everything else, and get yourself ready for your cycle. As soon as you've got your helmet on your head, grab your bike and then run with your bike down to the end of the racking down here, and then still running with your bike, so don't get on it whilst you're in transition, into this corner, then turn left down into this corner, and then you double back on yourself. You're outside of transition now, but you still can't get on your bike until you get to the line down here, which is called the Mount Point line, which will be by the scaffold bridge that we put in place for pedestrians to cross over the cycle track. As soon as you get on there, then you can jump on your bike and away you go on the cycle. Okay, so the cycle itself, you guys are doing a single loop of a 14-kilometer course. You'll be following pink-coloured cycle route signs, and I'll show you an example of those when you're stood on the loggia before you go racing. But you'll see them out on the course if you wanted to do a recce in your car before the event, and I'll explain the route to you now. So this is transition. As you exit transition, you'll be in this location down here. You jump on your bike just by the scaffold bridge, and then you've got 600 meters along the estate drive at Hever Castle, which is quite a narrow drive. It is tarmac, but there will be a line of cones down the middle, and as you guys are leaving to go out onto the road, there will be other people coming back in the opposite direction, so just take care as you go along there. At this end of the back drive, there are a couple of cottages, and in front of the cottages are 4 sleeping policemen or speed bumps, designed to slow down cars, but they'll also take you off your bike if you're not quite ready for them. So you need to keep your wits about you as you're coming up and down that driveway. When you get out to the main entrance of Hever Castle, just a reminder that the roads are not closed for this event. They are heavily marshalled, heavily signed, and you will have traffic management at key points. I'll explain that in a minute. But we would like you to stay into the left-hand side of the road at all times unless you're overtaking. And if you do overtake, then please make sure you keep a distance of 2 meters next to the cyclist that you're overtaking. It's also a non-drafting race, which means that when you're out on the course, you must maintain a distance of at least 10 meters between you and the cyclist in front of you. Okay, so the course itself, you come out of the main gate here, you turn left, you go past the church and the pub, and make your way downhill to a T-junction. This is traffic managed. So by traffic managed, I mean that we've got a company called Shift Traffic Management who get dressed up in day-glow orange or yellow high-vis suits, and they hold stop-go boards like you might see at some roadworks. anywhere out on the open road. They can hold traffic for you using those stop-go boards, and 99 times out of 100, they'll be able to hold the traffic and you'll go round the corner without having to stop. Every now and again, because they've held traffic for a period of time, they might have to tell you to slow down or stop. So please just listen and obey what they say to you. Okay, so from there you make your way uphill, up the Uckfield lane, and you climb up there for about 1.5 kilometres until you get to Marshall Point 3, which is in the village of Mark Beach. There you're going to turn left and make your way undulating down to this location here. So you guys are following the blue route on this map. So when you get to this point here, the road that you're on does actually continue straight on down there. And we're going to ask you to turn left up what's called Truggers Lane along here. There will be a marshal here who'll be looking out for you. You're going to have a pink stripe on your helmets, which he'll see coming towards you. And also the numbers that you'll have on your cycle kit will be pink as well. And you guys, from your point of view, are following pink signs. And there'll be a massive pink sign right on this junction here that's telling you to turn left down Truggers Lane. Okay, so you go down Truggers Lane, you get to the end of that, and there's a T-junction, and you turn left at that point. You pass a pub called The Rock, and then you continue downhill all the way down here through Wellerstown, and then up and out the other side of it till you get to the end of Chiddingstone High Street here. The road bears round to the left. Just stay on that road. Don't take this right turn down here, and that will take you down into the village itself. And you'll come across a school, a church, and a pub. And the road bears quite sharply round to the right, then to the left, and then you come to a crossroads just here. At this crossroads, again, you'll have a large pink sign and a marshal who's looking out for you, and they'll turn you right onto this little lane down here, which is called Mill Lane, and that will take you into the village of Bow Beach. When you get into the village of Bow Beach, which is my own village, you turn left at this point here, and then you cycle through the village, past the pub, stay on the southern side of the railway, don't go over the little bridge that's there, but just stay on the southern side, and there's a marshal there. Again, he'll be looking out for you. And then you've got about 3 kilometres to run back into the Hever estate. This is undulating as you go down here, and eventually you drop down to the River Eden and then climb gently uphill back to the main entrance of the castle. And that is you having completed your 14-kilometre circuit. You then turn left, you come back down, back drive, just watch out for people coming in the opposite direction, watch out for the speed bumps and the cones down the middle of the road. When you get back to the pedestrian bridge, that's where you dismount, and that is effectively the end of your cycle. You'll then come back into transition, and this is where you come in. So this is the scaffold bridge, dismount, and then you run with your bike down into here, into this corner, all the way across into this corner, and then again pick up the letter or number of your rack line and go across and replace your bike in the same spot that you took it from and where all your kit is. Change out of your cycle gear, obviously take your cycle helmet off, and then get ready for your 2.5 kilometre run. So you head off on your run, you run to the end of the racking, exactly the same as you did when you had your bike in your hand, down into this corner, all the way across here into this corner. And then the first bit of your run is exactly the same as the first bit of the cycle. And you run down here just in a separate lane on the outside of the cycle route. So just have a quick look at the run route. So you will be following the blue route on this map, and you're also following blue signs out on the course that say run route. So you come out of transition in this corner, you follow the cycle route down to this bit here. This is the back drive that I talked about earlier, which has got the cones and the sleeping policeman on it. And but you don't go down there, you turn left uphill and you follow what's called shite lanes at the top of Park Wood on a road planings type track. And then when you get to the top of the wood here, you cross over onto grass, run along a handrail, the top of the wood. And when you get to this corner here, you're then going to turn left and head downhill on a track until you get to the lake. And when you get to the lake, you turn left and you follow the Lake View Walk, which is all the way along here. And that turns into a little bit of a gravelly path until you get back towards the boathouse. And the point that you ran uphill after your swim, and then you turn left and left again, and then that's you in the finishing straight. Look out for the signs for the finish, because there is another sign there that says straight on for second and third lap. You guys are only doing 1 lap, and you turn right into the finish area, and then you finish just there. and that's your route. As I say, you're going to be following those light blue signs that have run route on, and I will show those to you when you get down to the loggia just before you swim. Great stuff. Okay. So that's your swim, cycle and run. If you've got any further questions about any aspect of those, and no question is too silly, then please just email us. The email address is admin@castletriathlonseries.co.uk, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. Great stuff. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday the 26th of September, and in the meantime, stay safe. Thank you for watching.